out on the road buying again today. Currently at One Automotive, which for those that don't know is actually co-owned by the man himself, Mike Brewer. I've got some part exchanges here that I want to get a deal done on, so let's go and meet Mike, get him on camera, let him do a bit of conversation about his dealership over here in Warwick, and hopefully get some deals done.
Right.
I'm really excited by this. It's going to be good.
Good, I'm excited as well. So, the man himself, Mike Brewer. There's a few reasons why we're here today. I want to obviously come over here to see your dealership. You've been here for, is it 2 years?
2 years, yeah, nearly 2 years at the end of the year. So January 2022 we started. I had the site for a few years. It was where I kept my cars, basically.
Yeah.
It was called my cathedral. So I kept all my classic cars.
So you literally bought this unit for your own car collection?
My own personal gratification, Calvin. No other reason.
That is amazing. What a lovely unit as well.
It was not like this, though. It was a bit of a crap hole. So it was a bit nasty when I got it. It was an engineering shop. It had one owner from new, built in 1980 up until 2022. So the building was thick with grease. The floor was destroyed. It was hanging. The building was hanging. A bit like when we buy an old scrapper.
Yeah. And it needs a lot of love.
It needs a lot of love. So it took me about 6 months. Worked with a team of people, cleaning it, putting a new floor in it, cleaning the walls. And then once we cleaned the building up, put a new floor in and painted it out, built my offices, it turned out all right. So what happened about 2.5 years ago on Wheeler Dealers, I actually fixed up a Mark 1 transit van, and I advertised it, and a van centre got in touch with me and said they'd like to buy it to put on display in their van centre. They think it'd be a good display piece. So this guy turned up called James with his partner then, Andy, and they come and bought the van off me. And I went and delivered the van to their van centre. And when I went over there, I noticed that they were buying transit customs, putting body kits on them, putting wheels on them, and it was kind of like Wheeler Dealers. They were Wheeler Dealer-ing vans, and they had this little niche in the market, and the vans looked really cool, really tasty. So I got chatting to them, and I said, look, I've got this unit, maybe you could sell vans out of here. And I was saying that because I was thinking, I've got my big car collection in here, but it's costing me every month to house it here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I was thinking maybe if I sold a few of my cars, put just a couple of vans in here, they could have a bit of space to sell vans. Once they walked in the building, James walked in the building, looked at it, and he went, we'll take the whole building. And I went, okay, all right, I'll have to get rid of my cars. So I sold all my cars. And then because it was a more sizable building than what they had before, they needed some investment. So I decided to partner with James and invest heavily and throw myself behind the business. And there we created One Automotive.
That is so cool. So you're now a car dealer again. But I suppose throughout the whole time you've been
always been a car dealer.
Always been doing buying and selling cars.
Mike Brewer Motors up in Sheffield and where I met you in Luton. Mike Brewer Motors still regularly sells 200 to 300 cars every single month. He's a big volume seller. We have hundreds of cars in stock at any one time. That's still a running, thriving, excitable business. But that's in Sheffield. This is on my doorstep.
So you live in this local area?
I live like literally 5 minutes away. So wicked. I can be here as much as I possibly can.
And are you here as much? Are you often here?
It's a bit of a surprise for the customers that come in. I'm here every single day. If I'm not filming Wheeler Dealers or a live event, being on stage with you, this is where you'll find me.
I couldn't even pull it up and I saw you here. I was like, wow, Mike's here.
I'm here.
It's cool.
I love it.
Imagine, I bet you clearly do.
But I was here anyway. When it was my car collection, I've been married for 34 years, Calvin.
Wow.
You've got to escape these days, right?
So this was your den.
This was my den.
This is where you come to.
Yeah, I phone up my mate, say you want a cup of tea, bring some donuts over. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But they come over, we sit and have a cup of tea and stare at the cars or fiddle with them.
Fair play.
But I've now turned it into a fully fledged dealership, employing 6 staff. It's turning over a huge amount of money. We're knocking out 40 vehicles a month.
40 vehicles a month from a little site like this.
Little site, 5,000 square feet.
Yes, but
it's not big, but we specialise. We're specialising in what the area needs. So vans are really good. There's no van centre here in 20-mile radius. So we knew that we was onto a winner with the custom vans.
Yep.
But here we've got some really posh schools around. And I don't know about you, but when I was 17 and passed my test, my parents bought me socks, right, with a picture of a car maybe on the socks.
Yeah.
But round here, when they turn 17, their parents
They get
buy
it.
them a car.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
No, nor did
Definitely
I.
not,
Right,
definitely
so
not.
I'm like, well, let's sell little cars. So 208s, little Fiestas, all that bread and butter stuff really does well for us, and we turn over high, smaller profit margins, of
Yep.
course, but a much higher turnover.
Wicked. So you've got a mixture of cars and vans here.
Yep.
Well, inside there's more vans, but is it mainly vans?
I suppose vans is what we know.
Yep.
It's the customising of vans is
Because
where
that's his side of things, isn't
That's James's side of things, and when that was brought over to me, I went through it with James and then and bore down into how we could personalise them to become a One Automotive van. So what we've done is we've developed our own kits for the vans, and we've developed a Raptor, a Predator, and an Explorer range, working with people that make the kits. We've enhanced them and developed them. And we end up with these unique vehicles. We developed the flooring system inside Transit Customs, the only company in the country that does it, where you can have a rail system on the floor and you can slide the chairs backwards and forwards, so you can turn it into a bed or put your mountain bikes in the back.
You can get all sorts of uses out of these.
Multi-use,
Yeah.
absolute multi-use. That's been a big part of the success of One Automotive, is being unique.
Rewind back to you in your 30s, yeah? Which
Yeah.
is me today.
Yeah.
You were a car dealer back then.
Car
you had your own
dealer.
car site.
Yeah,
Where was
so-
the car site?
So I had car sites all across London, really. So I had a car site in Wimbledon and one in Tulse Hill. So the one in Tulse Hill was shared, and I was working on it with somebody, and that was more bread and butter stuff. Sold a lot of BMWs in Brixton. They do
Wicked.
like those. And then in Brixton area, it's a really good area, rich for BMWs. That was good. And then I had a site that I shared again in Wimbledon, belonged to a guy called Dave Batty, but I shared the site. It was called Independent Motor Company, in terms of I put cars on, but he on that site, and that was just specialising in GTIs. So anything with like a 205 GTI, Golf GTI,
yeah.
anything that had an eye on the back of it, we would retail out there.
wicked.
And they were really popular sites. And it was around that time, 1997, Calvin.
Wow.
So we're going back a bit. You probably weren't even
I
born.
was 10 years old. I was 10 years old.
1997, that I was at the car site, the phone rung, and it was a lady from Channel 4 television saying that they're making a show called Deals and Wheels, and they wanted me to be a part of it. I refused, but she came down anyway and filmed me walking around a 205 1.9 GTI, and then she said, "You're amazing, you've got to be on the show." And I kept refusing, and then they made the show.
So hold on. So why did you refuse? What made you not want to do
I
it?
was so good at being a car dealer.
You love being a
I
car
love being
dealer.
a car dealer. I have no dream or aspirations of ever, still not today, I don't want to be on telly, I just want to sell cars. And I was really good at it. Me and my wife were bumbling along nicely. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm having me 2 holidays a year. I'm driving a Merc 190 year round.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. I was like, well, boy about town. And then
This came
about, and then they pestered me, and then after they'd made the show,
Yeah.
she came at me with a different angle and said, how about presenting it? So you're not going to be a feature in the show, how about you actually present the show?
Oh,
and I
right.
went, okay, well that's interesting. And she said, we'll give you 200 quid a show, we're going to film it in Catford, round the corner from me. We'll give you 200 quid a show, and we're going to film it in 5 days in Catford. And I went, yeah, done. £1,000 for a week.
So you've done
car
200
dealer
quid a day for a week.
1997. I'm like,
Isn't it?
I'm having some of that, £1,000 for the week.
So from there on, so I obviously know you well as Deals on Wheels. Back when I was a kid, I used to love the show. Like, it's such a good show, and you showed the whole process, which is exactly what I'm doing today on the channel. Like,
It's what we were doing.
Exactly what you
we
were doing.
watching people buying and selling their cars on Deals and Wheels and watching them go through the process, and I was just commentating on it and guessing the price that they would sell their car
That's
for.
it, because you used to write on the windscreen.
On the windscreen
That
of
was a
the
big
car.
part of the show, wasn't it?
I think it's only worth 150 quid, if that.
I didn't realise that, you know, back then, these kids today won't know this, but back then there was only 4 channels, 1, 2, 3, 4
course,
on
yeah,
telly.
yeah.
So when that show went out, it had like the highest ratings ever in Channel 4's history. It was 3.5 million people when it went out. So by week 3, I got headhunted by another well-known show called Top Gear. And I was
unreal.
by week 3, and when it was out on TV, and I turned that down because Channel 4 then offered me a bigger contract.
Oh,
and said,
really?
And said, we want to keep you on Channel 4. So I actually signed a 5-year deal,
For Deals on Wheels.
Deals and Wheels, and I ended up doing the show Driven.
Yeah, Driven was a big show as well.
Big show. Ultimately, that sort of knocked Top Gear off of BBC Two because it was so popular. And then I did that show with James May. Was my first ever co-presenter.
That is so cool.
James May, Yeah, and it ended up being me, Jason Plato, and Penny Mallory. It was an amazing period of my life. And then once that contract was over, I was headhunted by ITV, BBC, but there was this tiny little channel that nobody had heard of called Discovery Channel. Only been going for 5 years by then, and they were filming, gorillas in mountains and people digging for gold.
Of course, that's what they were about, weren't they?
Yeah, that's what they were about. But they said, listen, we want to just give you your own car show. So I worked together with a couple of other guys, Dan and Mike, and we sat down and we devised grand autos.
Okay.
Buy a car for £1,000, sell it.
All right.
But I already had a company called Wheeler Dealers, and Discovery liked that title. So they said, let's call it Wheeler Dealers.
Wheeler Dealers is a good brand.
Yeah, started in 2003, and here we are, 2024, 21 years later.
Has it been that long?
And I'm just about to start the next series.
Oh my God! Do you stop? Like people say to me, Calv, you're on it. You're on it,
all
Mike.
the time.
You're
Never
like
stop.
Literally just. There you go. Sell the M3.
I watched you last night picking it up.
Oh really? No way. Good to meet you, man.
I'm Nigel. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Gorgeous.
Wicked car, isn't it? Lovely. Isn't it lovely?
Is this yours?
This is my garage, yeah.
God, I never knew that.
Yes. Well, welcome
I
to
watched
the
you on YouTube as
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Welcome. It's nice.
No, I don't want a photo. They got me on
No,
film.
go on, no, you can have a photo.
on,
Who's
get
that?
a
I mean,
photo.
Calvin, yeah. All right, Dave. Yeah, that's ours, Dave. Just taking that in.
I'll send it to my son. My son watches you guys.
That's lovely. It's £10 each. £10 each.
So you
M3 touring.
you're just driving down the road, were you? You put.
There's a paint shop
amazing, isn't it?
around the corner.
Oh right.
Brilliant guy. Same name as me, Nigel.
Huh? Luke wants one.
Anyway, I popped in to see him, and I was driving past, and I saw the car, and I said to my wife, Debbie, I said, I can't believe.
I thought he was a punter. I didn't pull up, and I thought he's come.
I thought, Calvin's car. I said, look at his number plate.
That's wicked, though. Good to meet you, Nigel.
Nice to meet you, Nigel.
And you.
Thank you.
If I know you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, come visit. Come visit. Anytime
Treat
you like.
yourself.
Have a wander. Yeah, lovely.
But
Yeah.
have a look at the
Yeah, I do. I need to check them out.
Thanks,
Okay.
Nigel.
Top man, have a good day. So my question was, the whole time you were doing your TV show, right? You was a car dealer before.
Yeah.
Was you still car dealing as well?
Yes, I've never stopped
Really?
being a car dealer. There was a period of time between sort of 1999 and 2000, I'd say, and 10. So 11 years where TV took over. So you can forget the car sales. I was selling cars on telly. I was way too busy. But personally, I could never stop. I'd see a car, want to buy it, sell it. Personally, I'd be doing that anyway. But then in 2011, it becomes serious again when I started Mike Brewer Motors in Sheffield. At one point, we had like 160 staff. It was amazing.
Really?
That business grew and grew and grew.
Oh
and we
my
were
God.
selling, shoveling cars out everywhere. We grew out the sites. We had to keep moving to get ever bigger sites. And now that business runs itself. I've got an amazing partner up there called John Tustin, a great DP, director of sales, if you like, called Jamie, and they sort of run it automatically now for
wicked.
me.
That's nice.
So
yeah.
I don't have to be there every day. It's nice when I pop in, the staff like it.
Yeah.
When I pop in, but it is miles away. Where this one is more of a passion project. I'm sort
Yeah.
of more hands-on here because my daughter works in my wife.
Which
I've
is
got my
nice.
buddy now, James. And
Yeah.
this is more of a passion project. I like it.
And you're earning money out of it as well.
I'm earning money,
Clearly.
yeah. I mean, it's always nice to earn a bit of money.
Yeah.
Saying that, 2 years running and operating, dumped all of our savings in this, not taking a single penny.
Really?
Not one penny.
No
Nothing.
way.
No, I don't even think I've filled up the tank of fuel yet. And the
Blimey.
reason is because everything I do is for a long-term commitment. So, one day it'll pay out.
So
but
you're
I-
sort of reinvesting, growing the
reinvesting.
business,
Yeah.
making it.
I'm not skinned, don't worry. So
I know you're not
I'm not
skinned.
skinned. So I'm all right. I'm all right.
I know.
Don't feel sorry for me. I'm okay.
Cool.
I can afford to eat, as you can see.
Wicked. So let's go for a little wander inside.
Yeah.
So much to talk about, even still. So
Yes.
let's go. So out the front here, you've got all your cars. You've got a nice little 235i there. That's a sort of proper bit of me, that is, by
It's
the way.
lovely little car. So what we've done is we work out what people want, and together, like any smart car dealer, you're going to work out your retail ratings of what sells in your area.
Yeah.
Small SUVs like the Hyundais, the Cougars, Nissan X-Trails, they're really, really popular around here.
Oh, wicked.
We sell tons of those. They're really good. Things like the little small vans like the Caddies and the Ford Connects. We dress them up, wheels on
They
them.
look good. That looks really
They
good.
look really good, don't they? Put
Yeah.
roof rails on them and all that kind of stuff, and they sell
Yeah.
really successfully. This is one we just sold. We GTI'd.
That is lovely.
We got the stone protector on it. We roof rail it. We colour code the mirrors, colour code the bumpers, the trims off the side. Because it's gone off to be colour coded again. So
Okay.
usually the trim's black.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And that's gone off to be colour coded. New wheels, new tyres. And yeah, these are really popular, especially
They
in that
are,
sort
yeah.
of Nardo grey colour.
That's a lovely colour, yeah. I
Yeah,
like
they're
that a
really,
lot.
really popular. And then I can show you some of the
Yeah, let's go.
vans inside, what we develop. This here was not here. It's quite a funny story, this. This was just like a little weenie porter cabin shed in the corner. And it's really funny because I drew this on a piece of paper. I thought I just want a big glass box in the corner. Upstairs I want my sort of den, my hangout, pool table, whiskey bar, that's what I wanted upstairs.
So
And
nice,
downstairs I wanted more of a sort of office feel. And I put it out on the internet. I said to the audience out there, I said, look, I want to build this steel thing, and I put a picture. And I had this guy contact me and went, whoa, I want to work with you. Mike Brewer, I love you. I want to work with you. And he come down from the north. He was shaking when he turned
Really?
up. I had to hug him to stop him
Calm him
shaking.
down.
And I showed him the sort of outline drawings of what I had. And he said, I'll work out a price. And he went away and he said, to do the steel frame is like 27 grand. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never built a steel frame.
Yeah.
Never bought steel in my life. So I wouldn't know. I'm thinking, well, sounds about right. And then a few days later, a van pulls up outside. I was cleaning in here. A van pulled up outside and this old boy walked in with his rigger boots on. He went, all right. I said, yeah. He went, I built this building. I went, what? He went, yeah, I built this in 1980.
Blimey.
I went, oh, right, nice to meet you. He went, oh, yeah, I remember, putting this building and next door together. I went, what do you do? And he said, I own a company called Warwick Steel. And I went, oh, right. Well, listen, I was going to have some steel done for the thing. I said, these are the drawings. And he went, oh, send it back to my office. I'll get the guys to work on the price. He phoned me that afternoon. Remember the first price was 27 grand
27 grand.
off a fan. He phoned me in the afternoon. He said, 7 grand.
No
Said the other guy was 20 grand.
Oh
20
my
grand
God.
the wrong way.
Oh,
and I was going to
wow.
pay it because I didn't know.
Yeah, of course, you didn't know.
I didn't know. So yeah, I built the steel framework with 7 grand.
So was that at the point when you was storing your cars here, or was that the point of setting up as a dealership?
No,
so at this
storing
point,
cars. I mean, you got and cars wise, I had a little range of Porsche 911s that were expensive.
Yeah.
Plus, I had a Ferrari, a Citroen Maserati, I had the Transit, I had an MGA, but it was mainly the Porsches. There was quite a substantial amount of money tied up in cars, and I wanted to display them nicely. And
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a fastidious sod for cleanliness,
Yeah.
so I wanted a nice floor, I wanted good ramps, I wanted good toolboxes. And I worked hard.
That's
and
amazing,
This
yeah.
is what I wanted.
Yeah, too right, yeah.
So I went and spent money and did it all properly. And then after a few years, 4 years of me turning up here staring at my cars leaking, because that's what old cars do.
That's what they do. Of course they do.
After a few years of that, I decided that maybe. Plus, I was working so hard. I worked so hard on Wheeler Dealers. It takes me all over the world.
I was going to say that as well, because you're travelling a lot.
I'm travelling a lot, and because of that, I wasn't driving the cars. I wasn't using them enough, and I felt guilty because I stand on stage at live events with the likes of you, and I tell the audience, drive your car, make sure you drive it. And there's me being a hypocrite because I'm not driving mine. So I decided now's time to sell them. And when I decided time to sell them, I thought, well, we've got to fill the space with something. And we put the van centre in here. And this is what I'm proud of. This is a Raptor edition. This is one that we've done, so you can see it's got the splitter on the front, the bigger, deeper dish splitter, wheels and tyres, roof rails, little boot spoiler, and this one's got the Raptor grille on it. We also do interior conversions. We can do Bentley stitched leather seats. That's a Raptor. That one is these are all Raptors actually. We do a Predator, which is a much more aggressive one. And I think the other ones...
They look so good.
Yeah, they look really good, don't they?
They look really good, yeah.
Yeah, and this is a big market for us. These sell really, really well because your tradesman, if he comes down, he wants something nice.
He does, yeah. The tradesmen, they don't want to beat up old Transit no more.
They don't. No, they want something
van.
nice. They want to pull up outside somebody's house and look the part as well.
Yeah.
And being a Transit custom, they come with heated seats, electric windows, electric mirrors, foldable mirrors. iPod connectivity, iPlay, you know, and all that stuff. So it's like a 7 Series BMW.
Yeah, no, they are. They're a lovely thing.
Yeah,
they're a
amazing.
really nice thing. And you can imagine that people are drawn to them because of the way they look as well, even being black as well.
Yeah, no, it looks black or grey is the biggest selling colour. This is like, you know, this is the Utopian Transit.
Yeah.
This is going to come through the system.
Oh,
so we will body kit this, wheels, everything. This is a long wheelbase combi. This is the one.
Yeah.
In fact, if I advertised it without touching it, I don't have to touch this. I could advertise that now, today. It's in the queue to be photographed here. If I put that out there today just as it is, that would be sold. I bet you that will sell by the end of the day.
So you could have a profit out of that right now?
By the end of the day. That will sell by the end of the day.
But you optionally choose to go down the other route, to put your kit on it.
Yeah.
I suppose you get more money so it pays for the kit and stuff.
You know, the kit, you know, by the time we've developed the kit, with the developer and the kit, you know, you're talking, we're putting $3.5 grand, depending on what wheels and tyres and kit we put on, into every vehicle.
Yeah.
But you put $4.5 grand on the price tag of the vehicle, so you end up making a little bit more return, and the vans look a lot better, and it smartens up the business, and it makes this a bit more unique in the marketplace, and it works. You know, it works for us.
People must be fighting over these vans, surely.
Yeah, I mean, they don't last long. You know, we've sold 6 in the last 2 days.
I can't believe you've sold.
Yeah, we sold 3 yesterday, 3 today. We sell them quite quickly because they just look good in the adverts. And this, as I say, we will put this through the system. But 9 times out of 10, because we've already got somebody who wants this, we'll have a list of somebody who wants a long wheelbase combi, and that will sell. That will sell by the end of the day.
Yeah.
We do have some anomalies here. You know, we have some really weird anomalies. Like we took took a Jaguar XE, didn't understand it, don't know it, don't want to know it.
No.
But the car was mint. It was amazing.
Yeah.
The guy had looked after it, 38,000 miles, mint condition, silver. So it come in part exchange. I gave him what we buy any car Auto Trader valued it at, be fair with the customer.
Yeah.
And then thought, you know, I'll ring Calvin, see if I can sell it in the trade. You know, that's what I was going to do with it. And then we took a picture of it under this sign, put it on the internet. We sold it 45 minutes later.
Oh my!
And I couldn't understand it, you know. And now I'm thinking, do I become a Jaguar dealer? Do I buy XEs?
Oh well, yeah.
They don't do anything. They don't do anything for me. You know, this excites me. They sort of don't.
I think that's always, even I'm like that. I love a BMW, but then we try to buy a lot of BMWs, but we don't just solely buy BMWs because you can't ignore the fact that you can buy something else and quickly have a profit out of another. Even with this, it must be hard for you to say, let's not kit this up. Let's just put it for an MOT, get it serviced and sell it as it is.
Well, the utopian buyer for us, and this happens quite frequently here, it's happened in the last week. So the utopian buyer is somebody who's going to wander in this afternoon, and that will happen.
Yeah.
Somebody will wander in and walk straight up to this and go, I want this, but can you make it look like that? So we can then spec the car
to suit the
customer. So they can say, I want the 20-inch wheels or the 19-inch wheels. Yeah. I want the Bentley stitched leather, both front and rear seats. I want the sliding seat system. I want a pop. We just put a pop top on the Transit last week for a guy, which is a big job.
Yeah.
We do it all in house. We do it all here.
That's
got a guy called Steve that works for me. He does all the pop tops, all the trims. He decks them out inside, insulates them, does the flooring system. Absolutely incredible worker.
But I suppose the issue is if you've done all of that work on this van and before the customer arrived, the customer might not want the pop top, the Bentley stitch leather, so you ideally want to place the car or to find the customer before you've done the van.
You want to personalise it for the customer. If you can. That's difficult. That's very difficult, but it does happen.
It does happen, I can imagine,
Yeah. Funny enough, Richard Hammond, you may know Richard.
Yeah.
Richard's going to commission a vehicle from us, so he wants us to do a vehicle, and it's good because it's a commission. He's going to tell us what he wants, and we build it for him.
Oh, that's wicked, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it?
That is so cool. So, do you sell the parts separately as well? So, if I had my own Transit, could I buy all these bits off you?
Yeah, funny enough, we've had a little bit of a demand for that. So we've had some customers come in with their vanilla Transit and say, look, I like what you do with yours. Can I buy a body kit from you and put it on? And we can do it in-house. We had a lady last month. She had a standard panel van Transit. She wanted to turn it into a combi. Mm-hmm. We had a Transit in here. We put the glass in the 2 doors for her. We put found a set of seats online for her, put a set of seats in for her.
That is unbelievable. Yeah. That's why I wanted to come here, because I didn't know all this. Yeah. I didn't know that you do. I've seen your videos online and stuff, and see One Automotive, even the amount of vans you've got.
Yeah, no, it has turned into a thriving, functioning, really good little business. As I say, we've got 6 staff, which I'm now responsible for, you know, and I feel responsible for them. They've all got mortgages to pay and bills to pay, and this needs to work, you know, this really needs to work. And for it to work, it means that we all have to chip in and work a little bit harder ourselves. And, you know, I give up my time to get down here and be front of the house and make people feel comfortable when they're buying a vehicle, and
It's so good.
It works.
It's so good. You're a grafter, man.
Oh man, I just can't. I can't sit at home.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I can't do it, Calvin.
Anyway, we've got some part exchange, but what I was about to say to you is, I was like, you need to do your own YouTube channel. You know, you need to push your own Mike Brewer YouTube channel of some kind.
If I could have the followers you got, Calvin, I'd do it tomorrow.
But you've got fans. People love you.
I've got like millions. I've got millions on social media because I was an early adopter of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I've got a nice big audience on those. But the sort of YouTube generation skipped me by. And now my life is really weird. In the last 3 years, really started off with Auto Alex. In the last 3 years, I've sort of adopted YouTubers. I've adopted them because they've come seeking out me. You know, I'm Mike Brewer, and they've come seeking out me for, particularly Alex. You know, in the early years, I gave him a lot of advice. I even said that I'd invest in him, in Alex. And Alex has built up, you know, his audience. And then Freddie, which is Tavarish, these people may know online. You know, Freddie, I remember meeting him 5 years ago, you know, out in Los Angeles. And there he is. He's got this huge following. Now we've got the likes of Matt Armstrong, and Ben Collins is going down the same road.
Yeah, Ben Collins is doing his own
Sam Hard, who's brilliant. Ratarosa Scott, you know, Adam C, all these people. And of course, you, Calvin. And this audience is this new, younger, generated audience like that. That seem to have passed me by, but every single YouTuber I get to meet, they go, "Why aren't you doing YouTube?"
You would do it though. You actually would do it. I know you're flat out busy here. You just said you're going to be doing a new Wheeler Dealers
new series of Wheeler Dealers. But what I need is you to lend me this guy for a few months.
take him off.
Take him off for a few months, and I need to wake up in the morning to have somebody there, you know, with a camera. Instead, I've got, you know, guys with big professional cameras chasing me around, buying and selling old cars.
But for now, you're busy enough anyway.
I'm busy enough at the moment. It's not like it's weird because I don't need to make a living out of YouTube. I just want to share my life, you know, my passion, my love, and my enthusiasm for all things automotive.
It's so cool.
I just can't do anything else, Calvin. I can't do anything but be around cars. You know, I'm not interested in jet planes. I'm not interested in trains. You know, boats I kind of like, you know, because you get money, you want a boat. But it's just cars. I
cars
just love
are your
cars.
thing. You just like even getting involved, like here now, today. You're here. You know, we're hopefully doing a deal with some part exchanges. It's just what you're about, isn't it?
It is. I mean, look, you know, in a business like this, when you're selling cars like these little ST3s, they're wicked little bloody cars. These are amazing things.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, they're cool.
We've had a run of these recently. So if you're selling something like that, inevitably somebody's going to part exchange this, you know, and you're going to get one of these in part exchange.
Yep.
And this is, I thought, well, you know, Calvin, he's got kind of a varied sort of range of cars that he sells, and I need to partner with trusted dealers that I can trust, and I've known Calvin now, I think, like 12, 13 years.
Yeah, well now,
So, you know, I think I've got this, I've got a Safira, I've got a 2008, I've got some cars in part exchange I need to off.
Out the way, even taking up space. You could
taking up space, and you know, you might put them to work where you are.
Because we were at a show recently, so we were at Petrohedonism Live, and I said to you, if you've got any part exchanges you want to shift, give me a shout, and here we are.
This isn't the best car in the world, Calvin. I mean, it drives lovely, it's got a great service history, but it's a little bit hanging, a little bit of burnt paint on the door there. And you know, it's not.
It looks all right.
It's got the odd key mark on it. I mean, it drives lovely. It's got the old, you know, go faster spoiler on the back.
I noticed that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is there anything wrong with it that you know about?
The radio. The previous owner was in love with his, I think, his Sony radio, so he wanted to take it out.
It's got the head unit in, but not the face.
Yes, so it's a bit weird. I don't know why he done that. Because unless it's in the glove box and he didn't take it, I don't know.
Let's have a look in the glove box.
Might be. Might be in the glove box, because I just remember the conversation was he wanted his radio because it had Bluetooth connectivity.
Oh look!
Oh, it's there.
There we go.
Sorry, mate.
So the only problem with the car, it doesn't have any.
It doesn't have that problem anymore. And I said to the guy, "Why would you take it out?" And he said, "Because it's got Bluetooth." I said, "But the new car you bought's got Bluetooth." Oh, does it? Okay.
Oh.
And then he said, no, I want to keep it. Sorry about that. And he said, no, I want to keep it. So I didn't argue with the guy. I just thought he went out and took it. And when I looked in the seat and I see that, I thought, well, he's taken the stereo, but he hasn't.
He hasn't.
So that's a bonus,
Oh, what a
Calvin. You
result.
get a bonus of the stereo.
What a result.
It's got multi-function steering wheel. Watch me as the salesman. 5-speed, multi-function steering wheel, electric windows, 4 electric windows, electric mirrors, central lock-in, starts on the button, 35 miles to the gallon. To you, 900 quid.
£900, yeah?
900 quid.
Let me have a little look at the book value of this car.
Oh, it'd be 300 quid. I'm sure, the book value.
It's a nice car though. I think
we still do book values.
back in the day, it was literally a book, wasn't it?
It was
Glasses Guide.
It was Glasses Guide and Cap Guide, because we started to get so many models of cars, they got thicker and thicker and thicker.
And
so
then-
the easiest thing for them to do was to put it all on the phone.
All online.
So now you can get it all on the phone. So what does the book say?
Retail value is £2,000.
There you go. Look, you've got
The trade value,
yeah, 900 quid.
£530.
Ah,
But it's a
Somewhere
nice
between
car,
the two.
and I would say on cars like this, trade values are always a bit harsh. They
Yeah,
always
of
put them
course.
down. What's the mileage? 122, I think.
I think so, but it's got a wicked service history.
Do you know what, whilst we stood here, we need to do a car vertical check, didn't we? Because I need to make sure it's all good.
Yeah.
Mike, is it all right? Is it all right? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Massive thank you to Car Vertical as ever for sponsoring this video. I will link them in the description below. Make sure you use my code CCD to get a discount. So Mazda 3, quick screen recording. Mazda 3. It's a TS2. I think they've done the TS2, and then they've done the Sport, which is the higher one than the TS2, and then of course they've done the MPS, didn't they? I remember back in the day when these cars come out, actually, a friend that I worked with, he bought one of these brand new, and I remember him speccing it. So I wonder if he'll watch this video. Dean, he's a floor layer, back when I was floor laying. But anyway, that's irrelevant. Cool spec car. Mileage is all good. It's got no finance on it. It's got no previous damage, and it's never been stolen for, which is wicked. This is unreal. The mileage graph is nice and consistent as well. So someone looks like they've barely done any miles in it there. Wow. Very well looked after car based on the Car Vertical check anyway. And then we scroll down, we can see the whole list of records throughout the time of its life. January 2007 was when it was manufactured. It was registered in June 2007, and then inspected. And you can see everything there, the whole timeline of events showing MOTs, change of owners, and the most recent one there is July 2024. I will show you, as ever, an example of an image that you do not want to see when you're doing a car vertical check. There you go. It's always something catastrophic. Obviously, you're not going to buy a car that's in that kind of state, but that's just a dramatic example. I'll link Car Vertical in the description below. Make sure you use my code CCD to get a discount. Yeah, Mike, it looks all good. It's even got the plates on the floor mats as well. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So 900 quid for this. Let's go and have a look at the others first, yeah?
Walk past the amazing BMW M3.
I'm loving this car at the minute.
I love that. It's one of the best things I've seen ever. I love it. So yeah, this is Vauxhall Sphera 14 plate. It's the new shaper, or the later shape one of this generation. It drives lovely, funny enough. I've actually driven this around the block. It's got a really good service history as well. Good ownership, good service history.
Wicked.
No marks on it, Calvin. I think that's just bird poop.
It looks all right.
There was, if I remember rightly, there was just that little weeny.
So it's got a little mark there.
Well, I don't even think that is a mark. I think you'd probably get a bit of colour magic in that.
That's probably savable, isn't it? Just needs a good clean up, doesn't it?
Does need a good clean. I laid it in at £2,000 in part exchange, but you know, you might want to parcel that and the other one and something else together and come
So you
up
need to
with
get £2,000 for this, yeah?
It'd be nice to get £2,000 for that. That retails at £3,500.
Okay, so I reckon that's probably going to be all right as well then. But we'll conclude everything at the end of the video.
Okay.
Let's look at the third and final part exchange.
Yeah, so this is a 2008. I don't know what to say about it really. It's one of your sort of family cars, but great interior, half leather, 5-speed gearbox, nice dark wheels on it. It's straight, it's got the chrome mirror caps, roof rails. I don't think there's many marks on it, is there?
So, this is quite a tidy car. Admittedly, you know, it's not the most exciting thing in the world,
No,
but
it's not exciting.
It's my kind of thing. It's definitely my kind of car. So did this come in part X against?
This was another car that came in against, I think a later 208 in part exchange. So
wicked.
Yeah, that stands me in a couple of grand as well. So I got.
So you need £2,000 for that. £2,000 for that,
and I wanted 900 quid for that. Yeah, but you can. Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think I'm happy with all that. I'm not even going to bid you.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm going to give you £2,000 for that, £2,000 for that, and £900 for that one, and I'll get them all collected. Yeah. Honestly,
that's the kind of deal that you want to do in the motor trade. That's absolutely superb. Yeah, but look, from a dealer's point of view, you know, this isn't my stock profile, but you can make this work for you. So you can mark that up at a def at 2,950, and it will sell because it's a great little car for somebody.
Yeah.
That actually has a retail rating which is quite high, and that will sell for the Severa for $3,500. But you could, again, if you needed to at the def, you could let that go for 2,950.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to think, right, because this is something me and Calvin spoke about on stage, and I don't want you to think that, you know, if you're seeing us buy a car for $2,000 and sell it for $3,000, we made £1,000 profit. We didn't, because you have to pay 20% VAT, £350 per car marketing costs, 100 quid, 75 quid, 100 quid a car prep, 75 to 100 quid for your salesman.
Yep.
Then you have to pay your corporation tax on your profits.
There's so much to pay out for.
It's so much to pay out. And people go, oh, you just earned £1,000 out of it. No, I never. I probably took about 375 quid out of that profit.
That £1,000,
that's what it comes down to. And
you feel like you're just paying bills all the time.
All the
it's just like
time.
working to pay bills. It's a lot of pressure.
You know, you are entitled as a car dealer, and it's worth the audience that you are allowed to make money. You know, it's not against the law.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You are allowed. If you go in and buy a loaf of bread from Tesco's, they pay 20p for it, and they'll sell it to you for £1. You know, they're allowed to make money,
and they deserve to.
And you're allowed to make money. So it's not a crime.
No, you're right. If anything, we need to be getting more margins out, because we are here to make a profit. We want to earn money, you know.
The only way you get more margins out is just we found, especially with this little business, you just got to keep the money turning over.
Keep everything moving.
Keep everything moving. It's the only way to do it.
As soon as you're sitting on stock, then you start things go stale.
Well, this is the other thing, right? So this is the other thing me and Calvin spoke about on stage recently at Nebworth, right? This is the other thing. Me and Calvin, and the used car trade is governed by the guide, by the book price of the cars. So when Calvin buys this car and the Severa, not so much the little Mazda, but when he buys this little 2008 and that Severa, Calvin is now governed by this book guide at 30 days. So you've got a price for it, and you've got to sell it within that 30 days, otherwise the price changes.
Yeah.
And if you don't sell it in another 30 days, the price changes.
Yeah.
So it's a mental business. You are buying something that's continually depreciating, and you've got 30 days to try and make some money out of it.
You've got to prep it, and even with you, like you're doing your work, you're kitting them up and stuff, it takes time, doesn't it?
But that's the bit that excites me about the car trade. It's the thrill of being able to do that. It's being the thrill of beating the book. You know, within 30 days, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to fix it up, I'm going to retail it, I'm going to make a profit out of it, and pay my bills, pay all the staff, and I'm going to do it within those 30 days.
And that is why you're still here today.
I love it.
You still got that buzz of doing a deal,
I absolutely love it. And there is nothing more exciting, Calvin, and it happened at the weekend. And it's happened a few times here. But at the weekend, I sold a little Fiesta to some people, and it was a father and son. In fact, it happened twice. There was also a Mercedes A-Class that we sold to a lovely young lady called Molly. And as I walk away, if I catch the mirrored glass here, the windows are mirrored. As I walk away, and if I can catch a reflection, you see them standing behind going, yes.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice feeling. Even that, it's nice.
They've bought a car and they're so happy.
They're happy, yeah.
And you're like, get in.
Yeah, that is a good feeling.
That's why I got up this morning.
It's so good. All these years later, even for me, like on my journey through the car trade, to know that you've still got that buzz. I love it. I love doing a deal. I'm excited to do a deal. I'm always looking for the next bit of stock. Even when you said you've got a few part exchanges, I'm like, I want to get over there and buy these part exchanges. But it never dies off, does it?
No, it never dies off. I feel like I do feel like we're service providers. You know, we provide a service to people to me and you, this is stock, right? That's a Severa, this 288 is stock. But to somebody else, it's a dream.
Yeah,
you know, to some young mum who comes along and buys that car, that could be her first car. This could be a dream for her.
Yeah.
And we are service providers, providing that service that she's fulfilling a dream. I absolutely love that.
It's
That's
nice.
what gives me the thrill.
Yeah, I'm the same. I love that. I love that about you as well. So your story is fascinating, man. And even me, growing up as a kid, back to, you say you started with Deals on Wheels when I was 10 years old. Like, I've been watching you for that long. Like, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, Mike.
Well, I'm a fan of you, and it's really funny. There you are, standing out in front of my business, and you've got your own fans turning up
Yeah.
coming to see you.
I know, it's mad. It's mad.
It is good. But mate, you deserve every ounce of success you get
Appreciate
because
it.
you're a lovely, lovely guy.
Oh, thank you.
And I love watching your YouTube stuff, the way that you've moved your business and where you're putting it now, and how you're conducting yourself together. You know, you're not naturally like me. I was put on stage and thrown out there, but now you are now hosting on stage at live events
I know,
and
it's
giving
mad.
car advice to people alongside me on
it feels
stage.
surreal.
And it is surreal, isn't it? And
It
it's
really is,
and
yeah.
the way you've grasped that and brought that to your heart, and now you're you're an influencer that people look
mad.
up to. It's brilliant.
It is
Absolutely.
mad.
You deserve it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
I love you. I love you. You're
Sorted.
brilliant.
Thank you. Cool.
Looking at me, but he's a younger wheeler dealer, isn't he? That's what he is.
Sorted, guys. I'm going to leave it as that. I'll link One Automotive and all of Mike's socials in the description below. I'll also link Car Vertical in the description below as normal. And that's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it is everything. It's been nice to talk to you, Calvin. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Sorted.
Appreciate your audience as well. They're lovely people.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
After filming this video, we got all of the cars recovered back to Binker, got them prepped ready for sale, and got them all advertised. The Mazda and the Peugeot are yet to be sold, but the Zafira sold straight away. If you're a car dealer and you've got any part exchanges you want to get rid of, give us a call or contact us by email at sales@binker.co.uk.